What's going on? Strickly Graphics in the building. I'm on an Untold interview. I'm just here promoting, baby. Thank you. Shout out. Good looking out, man.
Got my man LJ-Strickly Graphics in the building.
What's going on?
What's good? What's good, man?
Hey,
Thank you for coming on the show.
Appreciate you.
Listen, this is my second interview in a very long time. My last interview was with Cosmic Kev and Q-Deezy. So that was my last interview. I don't do interviews.
Oh, man. You're the third person that we brought on the show that don't do interviews.
I mean, that's because I'm low key, man. I'm behind the scene. You dig me? Like I don't go out. I don't do much. When I was in the streets, when I was doing like the hip hop stuff, I was there. That's it. And then at the end of the day, it was just like, all right, let me, Kev. I had a little situation with Cosmic Kev and Q-Deezy. They interviewed me twice. I was up on it. I think I'm the only graphic designer on the Come Up show. I don't want to brag though, but that was me. Ain't too many graphic designers getting called up there to get interviewed.
Facts.
Oh, you talking that talk?
Yeah,
you talking that talk?
Yeah.
All right, so look, man. For those that don't know, what do you do? Where you from?
All right. I mean, I'm from Philly, basically, born in, well, now I can't say born and raised here because I wasn't born here. My dad was in the military, born in Germany. But, all my life I lived here, basically. Okay. Starting with designing, as a youngin', I was 9 going to Moore Art College, taking classes down Center City doing basic drawing. Boom, boom, boom. Then from there, and at the time it's crazy because I was playing football. I was good in football, good in basketball. And I had to make the decision of, do I want to do art or do I want to, play basketball and play football? Right. It's crazy because my team, at the time, it's funny because Wildcats is right down the street and we used to play them all the time. I used to play for Iron Eagles back in the day, way back in the day, 10 years in, My squad went to Mash Brown, won the championship. They looked at me and was like, oh, what's up, L? I was at Creative Performing Arts, continuing on doing my art thing, From there, Governor School of Art, Slippery Rocker Art. Then I went to Clarion, you know what I'm saying? Basic art, basic drawing. If you give me a pen and a paper, I could draw right now. I still draw, still sketch out things and stuff like that. Then from there, went to school, came back. What was that? 2001, went to Clarion, came back. Didn't really like it. I was actually burnt out in school because obviously I was going to art school since I was 9. Right. People didn't understand that. I'm like, they're like, you just dropped out. I'm like, nah, I ain't just dropped out. I'm done. I'm burnt. You know what I'm saying? I was burnt at the time. And, I got my wife. Well, now she was my girlfriend then, and basically, for a year, she didn't even know I did art. I was just burnt out. She had no clue. One day she came in, I was sitting there drawing her, and she was like, she was shocked. So, I started drawing her, and then from there, needed some money. My son was born. Yeah. So I jumped back in the mix. I think the first mixtape cover I did was for Black Seed. It was a group that went to Creative Performing Arts. Another album that was never dropped, never seeded, never dropped. Amazing, never got dropped. And then from there, that's when I started, checking out the hip hop scene, going to the hut, going here, going there. And it was funny because I used to carry my book around. This is the time we didn't have digital stuff. Everything was printed. So I print a portfolio and, I'll go here, go there. And then I start designing stuff, start designing for people. At first people didn't know, they're like, who are you? And at the time, I'm going to give credit to the designers that was around. I think it was Brax. I think he was one of the top guys out there doing everything. And then I jumped in the mix. Okay. I said, you know what, let me jump in this mix right here. But obviously, when I jumped in the mix, it was like, you know what, how much he charging? Or I'm dropping the price.
Smart guy.
So I started $50 a cover, which was super cheap. And at the time, I'm learning and I'm designing. To me, it was nothing. But I was an animal, man. I was just designing.
Now, Black Seed, did you use like a studio software or how you do it?
Photoshop.
Okay.
Same software I've been using, since high school. I use Photoshop, green screen, photos. I mean, it was all right, I look back at my work now and I'm like, oh, people pay for that? Not all of it, but in the beginning, obviously I was doing it for a while, but, and I was like, yeah, it's worth about $50. Right. And that's how I just got it done.
So you went to school for art,
graphic design. That was my major, graphic design. Okay. So my major was graphic design, but I was there for fine art and design. But I did both. I had 3. Design was my major, but I was able to do sketching. I had classes for drawing and sketching and stuff like that. And then from there, I got a scholarship, went to Clarion. Was there about a year, and I was like, nah, I ain't going back. I ain't go back. So that's how that went down.
Now, who was the first rap artist that you done graphics for?
First rap was Alliance Records. Y'all probably don't even remember that. Whoa, Young Dice, NATO, and all them. They was the first. Like, they was the first ones I was
doing. You talking about NATO?
Yeah, NATO.
That's my guy.
Yeah, NATO. He's still my guy. You know what I mean? And that was like the first one. And then it was like with Malik from Around the Block, Philly Barbarians. Okay. It's crazy because my memory is just like tight because, I ain't even rehearsed this, but I just remember stuff, like just doing stuff. And then, obviously bounced around. I was in EA's office. I was in, Back to Basics at the time. I was with them, EA. And then I was also, I'm bumping into OG. Boom, OG did it. Telling with him, Then I was at the Hut messing with Nah. Then I was there, M. Dot. I was there with, Big Bob, Young Bob. I say Big Bob. Young Bob. And at the time it was Young Bob, and it was, what's my other guy's name? I forgot his name, though. But he's also the manager of P&B Rock. What's the manager? What was the Lane? What was his name? That's the name I forgot. I had to come back. It'll come back to me. I don't remember it. But I just bounced around, and that was the thing, though. It was a lot of, obviously this was the battle days, and, it was a lot of back and forth.
Right.
But it was like I was the neutral guy. And it was like I was doing covers for everybody. It didn't even matter. It didn't matter. Or it was, oh, you got LG do your cover? I'm gonna get LG to do my cover. I'm gonna call him. But then at one point in time, no one even knew who I was. Because you gotta think, Strickly Graphics was a website. So people thought I was from Delaware or something. They had no clue at one point in time. So if you didn't know
you was from here.
Exactly. No one really knew because, they knew. If they didn't, they didn't. You know what I'm saying? And that was just the whole situation, And then again, this was a time where, social media, I think MySpace, and I think the first time me and Meek talked, I talked to him, I said, yo, what's up, man? You hit me up? And Meek was like, who? Who are you? He didn't know who I was, but this was the time when people had pages.
Right.
And you thought you was talking to me, but it wasn't. And then when me talked, and then we started doing business together after that. You know what I'm saying? But it was just weird with the social media, because you didn't know who was who. Right.
Yeah. And it felt unreal at that time.
Right.
So you started doing rappers covers. Were you ever in the midst of the battle wars?
I was in the middle of it. Yeah. Which battle are we talking about? All of them. You know what I'm saying? I was in the middle of all of them. When it was the DVD versus DVDs, you got to think, when Philly Barbarian dropped, then it was the DVD wars. You know what I'm saying? So Slick. I can remember all the names. Everybody was doing DVDs. Slick.
Heavy Spitters, right?
Heavy Spitters. Exactly. I was in the middle of all that. And most likely, most of them I was doing the covers. And, it was split. But I was definitely in the mix of it. And it was funny, man, because I actually like hip hop. And that's why when you call, I was like, man, no problem. I don't, take a ride. I'm in South Jersey now. I'm like, all right, I come over there. I ain't been to Philly in a minute. I'll swing over there. But this is for the culture. No problem with it,
So you was doing the DVD covers, doing the rap artist covers. Now, have you run into a situation where you accepted money from somebody and you kind of messed up on your side, like far as not delivering?
Mm-hmm. I mean, you know what? There was always situations where, overpromise stuff. I can tell you that right now. I'll be like, you know what? I ain't get it done, but here you go. Here's your money, man. Or, you know what I mean? So, but it never got like violent or nothing like that. But it was, I'll be lying to you. I don't know how much work I did, but think about 10 years of work. Yeah, people came back and was like, nah, that ain't it. Obviously, it was overpromised things, but it was several times when it was like, yo, man, I need my money. And I'm like, yeah, man, here's your $50, man. Like, and keep it moving. Like, that's all. Here you go. Like, all right, my bad, man. I got busy. You know what I'm saying? And most people understood. They understood. Like, nobody was like, oh, man, it never got into a situation where it was like, oh, we got to fight. It never got that type of situation. And then I was like, man, it ain't that deep, man. Whatever. And keep the artwork. Keep it moving. I don't care.
Now, now here's the thing. At that time, $50 was a lot.
I don't know.
It was a
Was
lot,
it?
LJ.
You think
yes.
so?
$50. If we talking about 2005 or right around the era,
right.
$50 was a lot.
Yeah. I mean, now listen, it's a lot depending on who you're talking to. Because you got to think industry-wise, $50.
Yes, yeah.
They might be behind with that.
But the rappers and things like that, at that time, it was a lot.
Depending on which rapper you're talking about.
That's true.
Trust me, I was around people that had budgets, and I was around people that had no budget. So it depends on who you're talking about. I can run the line down who had the money. Trust me, but you know, at the end of the day, I was just there to help people. You know what I mean, and to get them to get what they needed to get. And me, I was growing. You know what I'm saying? And you know, to be honest with you, the hip hop, the whole platform is my staple. That's where I started with the actual doing design. I've been designing, but just getting in that mix. And if you think about it, a lot of that mixtape stuff that we was doing, it's all being applied now on ESPN, football. They wasn't gritty. It wasn't no paper tears. It wasn't like that. You know, that came from underground urban designs. You know what I'm saying? And I joke and I laugh at people all the time. And I'm like, man, I don't like the paper tears. I've been doing this since, let's see, who's the name I did a paper tear on? I'm sorry, I can't even remember. My bad. But, you know, I say that to say there's nothing new. You know what I mean? Hip hop, as far as the, you know, the urban stuff. And as you know from the culture, the industry takes from that culture and applies it, you know.
Who's the competition?
Again, you had Brax, you had Ben Jacobs. Like Ben Jacobs came later. First it was just me and Brax. Boom. Then it was Ben Jacobs changed his name to Black Tag Media.
Okay, I remember that.
Right? And then you had, now as far as competition, I had a couple people like, who was doing, what's name's cover? Flamer's covers, I forgot. Cow with the Camera, that was my youngin. But see, then I had a bunch of youngins, you know what I'm saying? Like I had youngins that I was just like, man, go ahead. Because at the time, I had one foot in, I was just doing multiple design things. So it was a lot of people. But as far as competition, I would say Ben Jacobs was one. And then it was Brax. That was it as far as competition. Everybody else was just like, they my youngest, man. Yo, here, you got it. You know, I used to give them software. Like, they like, you giving me software? I'm like, yeah, man, I don't care about that. Like, it is what it is.
Kyle with the camera, man.
Yeah.
Shout outs to Kyle with the camera.
Yeah.
He's the reason that I started with this camera stuff.
It always starts like that.
Listen, look,
that.
LJ.
Go ahead. It always starts like that.
So when I was doing my rapping thing, right? I called Kyle with the camera, and he gave me a price to do, you know, some video work.
Right.
It was at that time I couldn't afford it.
Okay.
You know, I even tried to work out like a little payment plan. You know?
Kyle, okay.
Yeah. It didn't work. It didn't work. His rate was his rate, and I couldn't debate that. So when he told me the price, I said, "Wait a minute, hold up. I can go and get me a Canon." Because remember, at that time, it was the Canon 7Ds.
7D.
I had the Canon T2i.
Oh, okay.
So I bought that.
Okay.
I ain't looked back since.
Okay.
But I had to thank Kyle because I couldn't afford him, and that gave me the determination to go and get my own stuff and do my own stuff. And I mean, way more money than that.
Listen, I mean, my cousin, Mark, you know, he the one that got me really doing my own thing because he was a tech guy. I said, hey, man, I need somebody to do a website. He was like, you could do it yourself. Just like that. And with that being my son being born, it was like, all right, strictlygraphics.com, I'll do my own website. Because that's what it was. It was always the website thing. Because at the time, it was Tom in MySpace. And I was like, man, Strictly Graphics, man. I don't need no social media. But, you know, my thing was like, and then think about the MySpace era, you know. It was around for 5 years, then it was gone. So I treated every social media, every platform the same way. It's just like, at that time, it was like a microwave. Like, stuff was just gone. Like, it was here, and then it's gone. So I never trusted into it. To this day, like, my website, my son is 20, my website is 20. Plain and simple. You know, he'd be 20 in February. You dig? So at the end of the day, that's where it came from, you know. And at that time, you know, obviously, I was trying to get to the dollars, you know.
Now, speaking of dollars, that $50 went up.
Woo! It did.
I remember because you did, and shout outs to my guy, my brother from the Sandbox, Vicious.
Yeah, Vish.
Blood Money.
Yeah, Blood Money.
I seen his cover. I'm like, bro, listen, who did this? It looked like you in the Matrix and all that. I'm like,
you talk about the Terminator joint?
No, you did too. It was one where he got a red hat on. It's like he on.
Oh, that's the joint. He's at the graveyard with the head down, rain down.
Right. So
I remember my artwork.
I seen that, and I'm like, who did that? He's like, yo, Strickly. He didn't say LJ. He said, my man, Strickly Graphics and all this stuff. So
that's funny because Fish calls me LJ. He was just being businesslike.
Nah.
That's the thing. When people try to be business, like Strickly Graphics. Fish called me LJ. You know what I mean?
So he said Strickly Graphics. He did give me a number. At that time, we was on Boost Mobile.
Okay.
So he gave me the number. I called, and I remember speaking to you, and you said, yeah, it's 150. At that time.
What year?
Oh, man, gosh.
You got to give me the year.
It had to been 2006, 7.
Nah, got to be later than that.
It had to been. Well, let's say for 2010. 2010. So he said that. I called. You gave me the price, 150. I couldn't afford it. 150 was a lot. I'm thinking $50. But you said 150.
Right.
Why did your price go up?
It was too many people. That's why. And the first rule of business is you got to price people out. At the time at 50, I was way too busy. Way too busy, man. I couldn't keep up with it. So I had to, set a higher price to it. And it's funny because it was tough because, some of my artists, Bump J and all them guys, it's like, oh, you used to charge this. You used to charge $50. And I'm like, hey, man, prices is different. I'm sorry, man, but it's no way I could have kept up with that. Right now, if my price was still $50, I would never sleep. It'd be impossible. And sometimes you just got to price people out. You just have to price it out. And this is the number. And what it did was it gave me more time, especially at that time. You know what I was doing in 2010? I went back into the shadows and I was coaching for the Aztecs for 10 years. 10 years I coached the Aztecs. 2 trips to Disney, for Super Bowls. 2 trips. So that was serious. So, you know what I mean? So, and also I crossed over when I started coaching Little League football. All the logos, the Wildcats logo, I did that. The Aztecs, the new logos, I did that. Chester, I did that logo. PYF.
The Chester one?
Yeah, that's me.
Wow.
I did that. People didn't even know. They didn't even know. But for that, I just did it. You know what I'm saying? Because I knew they ain't had no money. Now I knew they ain't had no money. I'm like, I'll take care of it for you. And that's the thing. I was doing so much stuff. And this Little League football stuff, I got so much artwork out there that's right now, that's on these shirts. We was designing uniforms. You know what I'm saying? So anytime you see Mike Holler, that's my guy. That's my logo. I designed all that. So I took over that whole situation I still do it. When I come back to Philly, I go to the Aztecs. Oh, what's up? I need this. All right, no problem. I know they ain't got no money. And at times I was coaching, kids didn't have no money to pay the fee. I was putting up money, buying the uniforms, getting uniforms, picking them up, driving them off. Like I totally switched. That's funny because you said 2010. Well, that's when my son started football, 5 years old. He's now going to Bowie State. He's 20 now. So that's how I started. And my thing is this, relationships. I still got these relationships. You know what I mean? And you know what? That number you called back in 2005 is the same number.
Wow.
It's the same number. So if anybody called me, yeah. 0391, yeah, same number. The same number, right here. You call, that's it. You know how many numbers I got in my phone?
Wow.
So I question whose number is. That's why when I was talking to Sam, I was like, is that number still the same? Is that number still the same? I don't know. But then again, I don't really call people. You know what I mean? They call me. And when I see their name, like when Sam called, oh, all right, that's Sam. All right, cool. What's up? And keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? But I got like 6,000 numbers in my phone, man. I could never lose my number. I could never change it. It's too many people have that number. And now, being that I'm doing a lot of right now, I'm doing a lot of design for like film festivals and stuff like that. I can't lose my number. Like my number's got to be the same number, no matter what.
Consistency.
Yeah, consistency is everything. Website the same, number's still the same. So if somebody say I changed, they lied.
Yeah, right.
Only thing changed about me is my area code, but I got out. So in 2019, because I had to get my boy out of here. I had to get my son out of here.
Absolutely, you made it out in the right time.
Yeah.
So speaking of that year, you didn't change the numbers because, of course,
The market.
Demand.
Yeah.
You know, you got to wean out
the market.
the people that can't,
Yeah.
all the jokers. I get it.
Right.
How is it now with, let's just say, a new artist calls you and be like, hey, you know what? I was referred to by blah, blah, blah. What's your price point?
It's a little different now. I mean, it's definitely different right now as far as the price point because it's like what you want.
Right.
But my thing is this right here. If I'm doing stuff for NFL Films and Netflix and Prime Video, my man, like, what you want me to do?
The budget got to be.
I'm like, what do you want me to do? Like, I'm sorry. Like, I can't go back. But guess what? The quality is still there. You're going to get some quality. Now, am I charging you $1 million? No, it's a respectable price.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, it's like, all right, what's your budget? And I know, you know what I mean? Don't show up to me with $1 million worth of jewelry and say you ain't got no budget. Okay? I'm sorry. You got a budget, but like, trust me. You know what I mean? And that was my thing back in the day. And that's why I really never the $50, because, dudes used to be like dressed out. 200-ounce sneakers, $300 shirts. You ain't got 50?
You was the come up, yo. $50.
you ain't got $50? Come on, man.
Like, I ain't got it right now.
Listen,
I got 40.
And every time I see you changing your leg from the head to the toe, you got $50. Trust me, man. You can pay $50 is pretty light.
Why is it like that, though?
Huh?
Why do people play with numbers, man?
It's a game, and at the end of the day, most times people, it's either they're going to call you because they want something or whatever, but it's a game, man. But I've been playing this game a long time,
right.
So to me, it's just like, all right, man, whatever. I got you. All right, we're going to work something out. All right. But that was pretty much it.
Now, the price went up, the game changed. Now it's more people that just came out the blue, haven't went to school like you went to school, and now they're making top dollars.
Right.
Versus you put in that work in, learning it, and experiencing it. What do you think about today's graphic designers?
As far as in Philly?
As overall, the people that just, jump out there.
I'm going to be honest with you, man. I don't even pay attention, man. I'm so busy right now, man, between my kids and my family. I don't even pay attention. But one thing for sure, if somebody reach out to me, I give them the information. Because I don't listen. At the end of the day, I mean, that's another thing I did. I mean, and while I was doing the football, the 10 years thing, I was also teaching at schools, teaching art, teaching young kids. I was at Youth Empowerment Services. 7 years teaching, teaching them. Then I was at Community Council. That was the last job, But I was always doing art, some type of art, teaching them basic one drawing. So at the end of the day, through time, you got to get better. That's all. You know what I'm saying? And depending on your budget, you're going to get better. You will get better. Plain and simple.
Speaking of football, who's your favorite team?
My favorite team, I don't even want to say it, man. You might end the interview. You know what I mean? I don't want to say it, man. I don't want to say it. Be
careful, LJ.
Listen, I don't want to say it, man. I like football.
Okay.
This is the thing. I like football, and I'm a football guy. Obviously, 10 years of coaching for Little League football, me playing football, I love football. So, and that's the thing, too. And to be honest with you, and when people ask me, yo, what team you like? I was like, man, I be joking with people, but I do like the game. You know what I'm saying? I like the game. So crazy. What's even better now? Like DeAndre Swift. I watched him when he was 5 years old. People just knowing who he was when he went to Georgia. I watched him play for E9, Little League football. And there's some more guys out there that's about to pop. And I coached half of them, They text me, Coach, you got the video? Yeah, no problem. Google. Here you go. They in college right now, D1 schools, playing football, about to go to the league. So I still got those relationships, yo. And that was the thing about the Little League football. It was more of a like, yo, these guys need it. You know what I'm saying? They need it. I'm not here to make money. I got to be there anyway because my son is there. So if I got to sit on the sideline, am I going to watch these coaches coach, or am I going to go out there and try to help them and do what I can do? Or, but then again, when I did help them, I wasn't like out there. Strickly Graphics is out here on the football field. Nah, I was quiet about it. Those that knew. Until somebody famous would come to the field. They'd be like, how you know him? Yeah, I just do some graphics for him or whatever. I keep it moving. I'm humble. I just keep it moving because I'm not out here. I wasn't out there for Strickly Graphics. I was out there for my son. So he actually did. He did about 10 years with the Aztecs.
Good.
5 all the way up to 14 years. So, yeah. And that was fun.
Great.
Yeah. I still like the Wildcats. They're my guys over there. Yeah, they're my guys, Listen, again, but it was like the hip-hop thing. Because while I was coaching for the Aztecs, I still was designing stuff for them, Carl and all of them. You know what I'm saying? Hey, yo, I need a logo. All right, no problem. Because at the end of the day, you need a logo. That's it. You know? AYF, that logo. If you ever see that logo, that's my logo. I designed it.
Now, what mixtape or album cover that we could still see today that took off for that artist that you done?
There's a bunch of them. I'll be here all day for that one.
Give us 3.
I know NH one. That one popped off. The one he was managed by Mark Man. When Mark managed him, NH. I think it was a recent one. He almost had that deal, that situation going on. Obviously, Meek Mill's Mr. Philadelphia. That popped off.
Okay.
And I mean, who would be? You know what's a crazy Young Hot one? Young Hot popped off. That joint popped off, and it was the simplest cover I ever did.
I like Young Hot.
Yeah, it was Young Hot joint popped off. Obviously, at the time, Joey Jihad. I did a couple of things for him. Obviously, what's the other one named? Joey Jihad. I don't know, man. Now that right there, it's too many covers, y'all. It's crazy. I know people go like, yo, you did my joint, that joint. You know, Core, I did all cores, every one of his.
Wow.
And this is the funny thing. Every one of them came to my house. And I done lived in Beirut. I done lived in Uptown, Walnut Lane, Johnson Street. Like, coming here, I passed all my houses. So I was just like, oh, wow, I remember that. Nostalgia. You know what I mean? Keep driving. And that was the thing too, man. Everybody was able to come to me. Oh, where you at? I'm home. Come on. Let's go. Let's get it done. Let's get it moving. You know what I'm saying? And I had no issues with that, you know? None at all.
So, is there an artist that you were not a fan of their music, but you did business with them?
No.
Why?
I don't know. I mean, I don't have an answer to that question. I liked everybody. Now, when you say I wasn't a fan, now it was some that were good and some was elite. Now you got different. You got a range of
bad.
This bad rap.
Yeah.
No, I don't know, because it's either that or I didn't listen to their music. You know, and to be honest with you, I probably didn't even listen to it. You know, or I can't say no because everyone has stages. Think about it. Even look at D. Jones. He went through stages. You know. So everybody has a stage where they just get better and develop more. They know how to put things together. Even Meek, he had to get with Ross to do back-to-backs. I remember those times. You know, when he was in the studio doing different type of music. Like, it wasn't the same Flamers Day. Ross had to show him certain things. You know what I'm saying? So with the development, you get better. Now, I mean, you know, but other than that, it's either I didn't listen to it or I just was a fan. Like, all right, I'm going to knock this joint out the park. I got you, man. You my guy. You got some good music. You know what I'm saying? And I can run a list on that one. I mean, there was a lot of nice, tight MCs. It's crazy because a lot of them should have crossed that threshold of like actually making it, you know? A lot of them should have.
All right, so you're Strickly Graphics. Everybody is doing business with you. Do you feel like you lean off of the music industry part, like far as the rappers making mixtape and
When you say that, what do you mean?
Far as making covers for rappers, did you stop doing that?
Not necessarily. I just do a lot more independent films now. So I didn't really step off of it because, to be honest with you, it's got to be a project for me worth me doing it. This has got to be one of those projects. You know what I'm saying? If it ain't one of those projects, it's like, all right, what you want to do? But as far as me saying, no, I'm not going to do it, I stopped promoting on my Instagram page. You got to think, my Instagram page was based on all hip hop and rap. And if you look at it for the last 2 years or 10 years, all you're going to see is my son playing football or whatever. But I still do it, though. And that's the thing. If I would have kept promoting it, that means I just wanted to switch. You know what I mean? 2019, I got my animation degree. So that's where I flipped to. I flipped the switch, went somewhere else. Now I'm doing animation. 2019, I also worked for NFL Films. So I was doing work for them, for the NFL. You know, the same joke around memes I was doing for Little League football, NFL Films was paying me to do it for them. So, yeah, I just flipped, man. I just flipped the process. That's what I do. That's how I stay intrigued and, you know, into the graphics because I'm always changing my discipline. So now I'm animation. But currently, I got a couple contracts that I just do straight designs or whatever they need, you know, commercials, whatever, videos, advertisements, landing pages, whatever. I'm just a designer. I enjoy doing art, you know. And that's probably the Knicks where I'm at now, because before, like I said, 2004, I wasn't doing anything. I just stopped for 1 year or whatever like that. But now I'm doing it more often because I could change the discipline. You know, one day I'm doing photography, next day I'm doing animation, or the next day I'm doing 3D graphics drawing, or I'm concept. I'm always drawing though, because with every project you got to do a concept design or something like that.
How's your mental health?
It's good. I mean, I'm good, man. I'm in a good place, man. Me and my wife, 2 kids, I'm straight, man. I live out South Jersey, guess what? In the sticks. Chilling, relaxed, no problems. That's why when me and you talking, I'm like, I gotta fight that traffic. You know, that's all I can think about is that traffic. I'm like, oh man, I don't know, man. I don't know about that traffic, man. Like that traffic is crazy. When I got here, I'm like, what is going on? So when I crossed the bridge, I'm like, it is always like that though. It is always like that. It never changes, yo.
Make you say, this is why I moved to South Jersey.
This is why I moved to South Jersey, man. It's quiet. And I'm in a small town too. They have no clue. They have no clue. You know, they see me and my wife pull up, you know what I'm saying? They have no clue. You know what I'm saying? And listen, my wife is bigger than me right now. You know what I mean? She got ties with the mayor and everything. So she is doing her thing. You know what I mean? And we've been together for about 25 years. So through all that nonsense, my wife is still with me. Thank you. She's still with me. Yeah, all them nights at 2 o'clock in the morning, all 3 o'clock in the morning, she's still with me, yo. So she went through all that. I know she was happy when I started coaching Little League football. So there you go.
Now, did work ever, collide with family, where you was just overwhelmed with work and it was like you were spending less time with family?
Not necessarily, man, because with the hip hop world, it was just 2 a.m. in the morning, 3 a.m. in the morning, the let out, the shows. You know what I'm saying? If anything collided, it was coming home smelling like weed. You know what I'm saying? Taking my clothes off. Take my clothes off at the door. I was like, oh, man. Listen, I don't miss that, man. Because I was in the studios, man. I was in Batcave. I was in all the studios. So it was like, I don't even smoke. You know what I'm saying? I drink, but I don't smoke. So I'm like, all right. She's like, leave your clothes at the door. Yeah.
Listen, we interviewed Razor a few days ago, right, man. And when I say he is the Philadelphia Snoop Dogg to me.
Right.
I'm saying when my wife came to pick me up from here, she was like, babe, was you smoking? I was like, no. I'm like opening the window and everything. She's like, oh my goodness.
Like,
listen, trust me. Listen, and think about it. You know what I mean? I was around Gilly. Okay? So there you go. I don't even got to say much, okay? Through all his managements, when he was with Yana, when he was with Tama, when he was with, who else he was with? He was with somebody else too. But, that's all they did. All of them. It wasn't just them. All of us. They just smoked weed. And listen, I don't mind. I didn't really care because all my friends, but I just never smoked because I was an athlete. And it's like, stop being an athlete when you're 24 and it's like, you know what? I'm going to start smoking today. Right. Like, I was just an athlete, so I just never really got into it. I'm a little too old to start now, so, but, but.
We just getting the concept.
Oh, listen. I was just like, all right, at the end of the day, it is what it is.
Now, off camera is a question that I asked you.
Yeah.
And you answered it.
Mm-hmm.
Are you a gatekeeper?
Am I a gatekeeper? I mean, again, I don't think that I was a gatekeeper because whenever I think of gatekeeper, I think of somebody locking the door, not letting you in. I was the opposite, man. I was putting people together. You know what I'm saying? I had the phone call. And guess what you had to do for me? Nothing. The same way I did the 10 years of Little League football, you didn't have to do anything. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm just a general nice person. I want to see everybody do well. You know what I mean? Especially me, because at the end of the day, I'm me. I'm a designer. Guess what? This is just one aspect right here. You know what I'm saying? I ain't worried about you. And the gatekeepers are people that's worried about things. I mean, I don't want to say it, but they're worried about, I can't let you in because then you go, nah, I ain't got to do that. I'm me. And go ahead. You go out there, you do better than me. So I can come back, with this right here. You know what I'm saying? Make me better. I like competition. So I never really stopped people or had the key at the door. Now, I will say this. The people that represented or said something, they may have, did stuff like that. But with me, anybody had my number. My number's the same. So like, It was never hard to get in contact with me.
Numbers the same, price is not.
Nah, price is not the same. Nah. Listen, the economy goes up, I go up. That's how that go, man. Sorry, I apologize for that.
LJ, did you watch the Mike Tyson and Jake Paul fight?
I did.
Your thoughts? And please be brutally honest.
I think Mike got a check, and that's it. That's it. I think he got a check. I think Mike Tyson would have killed that man. I don't care, 60 or not. If he went full tilt, he could have got rid of him in the first round. That's it. If he wanted to. If Mike wanted to, he could have got rid of him, yo. I'm watching the video, he missing, his face is, Jake Paul is not a boxer, yo. He's not a boxer. I'm sorry. He's not.
He got a few hits on Mike.
At 60-year-old, I'm just saying if Mike would have connected one time, I think that'd have been over. I think it would have been over.
You think he held back?
Yes, I did. After watching him fight Roy Jones and when he was attacking him, chasing him around the ring until nothing, until him biting his glove. He ain't bite his glove one time when he fought Roy.
Why did he bite his glove?
Because he was like, if I knock him out, I don't get paid. Jake got clauses in his contract. If it don't go the distance, he got clauses. So it's not a straight up, look at the gloves that they had on. Just for safety, put these big gloves on.
It was some big gloves. What was it, like 20 ounces?
Yeah, just for safety. Put these gloves on. So that was my thought about that. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm a Mike Tyson fan, but I'm just looking at the two last fights. He tried to kill Roy. He was chasing Roy. You know what I'm saying? Now, that was 4 years ago. And then I seen him in the ring sparring. He looked the same way.
He was a beast.
Yes.
Man.
So what do you think? And it's tricky because it's like, was it real? Was it fake? I'm leaning for, he got a check, 20 million. What do you get, 20 million? And we ain't even talking about the off books money with the logos and all that stuff.
Right.
We ain't talking about that. He got paid. He got paid. And I think that's why he was biting his glove.
From knocking his head off?
Because he didn't want to. Like, if I knock this dude out, I might be short 10 million. Because, let's think about it. If Mike Tyson really wanted him, he could have got him out the first round. Even if he can't go 8 rounds, I think Mike would have just chased him, got him in the corner. Because I watched the fight, and I seen it in slow-mo. Plenty of opportunities Jake guard was down.
I can name about 7.
Plenty of times. And Mike.
That's it. And I was like, wait a minute.
They
got a clause in this contract.
No. It's a clause every time. It's a clause. It's a clause. Because Jake is not a real fighter.
Nobody's performing the way that they were talking and sparring.
Nah. Listen, before that, the highest view was 4 million, 3 million. 60 million people watched. What's the bull from WWF, McMahon? That's his name?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what that was. That's what that was. 60 million. Nobody will ever top that. Not in boxing. Floyd was at the top of his game. Floyd and Pacquiao didn't even touch that. We talk about 58 million difference of viewers.
Do you think it killed his legacy by him doing it for a money grab?
No. I don't think it cleared. Nah, he said it. He said it actually in an interview. He's like, I don't care about no legacy. So that's how you knew. Before the fight, he told the little girl, legacy? I don't care about that. I'm ready to take care of my family. Before the fight even happened, he said that.
You think he should have said that to that little girl?
Mic off. This is why I know. This is why, you know, normal people would be sitting there biting their glove, you know. But he had to calm himself down. Like, man, if I hit this dude, I'm going to lose at least 5 million. Right. That's the difference between 15 million or 20 million and 5 million. I knocked this dude out. Nah.
Are you tuning in for another Mike Tyson fight?
Why not? It's entertainment. It's entertainment now. Now it's entertainment. I mean, do you think Mike is going to fight anybody else now?
Yes.
Who?
If that money is good, Mike is in that ring.
It ain't getting nothing like this. Jake Paul is a genius. He put it together. He mastered it. He put it together. He orchestrated it, and they got paid. You see all them logos on that ring?
Yeah, it was a lot of logos.
We ain't talking about little boy logos too. Big logo.
Did you create some of those logos?
I was not involved with none of that. I wish I was not involved with none of that right there. I was just looking at all that money on it. Listen, I was like, wow. I said, he gonna kill in this joint. That's crazy. Like Jake Paul know what he's doing, period. He knows what he's doing. He made a lot of money, man. Everybody that night made some money, so, you know, I can't knock it. Was I disappointed? Yeah, I was disappointed that Mike didn't knock his head off, but Listen, if Mike knocks his head off, can Jake Paul make any more money?
Not at all.
Okay. How old is Jake Paul?
25.
Okay, he got plenty more time to fake more fights. Here you go. Here you go. Okay, it's about making money, right? Listen, what Floyd was doing, was Floyd trying to knock people out, or was he giving you a show and not getting hit?
Oh, he's going to give you a show.
That's right. It's about making money. If you go in there and knock someone out the first round, like, or you do anything like that, then you're not making money. You know what I'm saying? You're not making money. Now, obviously, I know Mike was doing that at one point in time, but that was Mike. But you can't do that now. You can't go in there and knock someone out the first round or 90 seconds. You can't do that no more. You do that.
But that was the entertainment part of it.
Yeah.
That's what we came out to see Mike.
Yeah. I literally think Mike held back. And that's just my thoughts. Yeah, I could be wrong. I don't know.
No, I agree with you. I believe that the fight was pretty much fixed.
Yeah.
You know, and hey, it was entertaining because now the girls.
Yeah,
she got robbed.
She got robbed. She got robbed.
That thing not even close.
Listen, she headbutted her. She headbutted. What's her name? Amanda. Am I right? Amanda. Yeah, she headbutted her, man, and I'm like, yo, she's still fighting with blood in her eye,
and she still was hitting her head with 1,000 punches. Every category she lost, but she lost the fight. Well, what she won the fight. She lost in every category. Hits. Power hits, everything, and she lost. Thrown, had 100 on everything. The whole college, even the boy was like, "What is this? This is impossible."
She got robbed.
She got robbed.
She got robbed.
She got robbed.
Do you feel like sports is like it used to be? Just overall.
No, it's definitely not. Because again, it goes back to we trying to make money. Think about it. Think about football. How do you think Tom Brady lasts till he's 44, 45? You protect the money, right? The quarterback, right?
All right, now, LJ.
What?
We're not going to talk about Mr. Tom Brady. Right?
Okay.
I'm
just saying. It's nothing wrong with it. But at the end of the day, if Tom Brady would have played in the 80s, well, no, I ain't gonna lie. If he would have just stayed in the 90s, because at that time he was getting his head knocked off. When he was running around, they was trying to kill him. They changed the rule. And when think about it, when he got hit in that snow game against the Raiders, broke his leg, he was out. What they do the next year? Oh no more low blows, buddy. Can't mess the money up. You know what I'm saying? Can't mess the money up. Oh, remove that. It's crazy. Like, so yeah, sports it changed. But it's about money. It's about making money. That's what it's about. It's about making money. Now, is it all fixed? No, I don't think it's fixed. You can't fake it. Me running 100 miles an hour at you, trying to kill you. That's why I stopped playing football too. Actually, it's funny because when I was up here, I was playing for the Panthers, semi-pro.
Okay.
Playing for Domicine and them. And you know how I met Domicine? Dealing with the rap. I don't know if y'all know Domicine. Domicine was Pay LaBelle's manager.
Okay.
He's in this area, Thoron Street. He's around here somewhere. So, yeah.
Lauryn Hill or Sexy Red?
I'm not even going to answer that, man. I don't want to answer that, man. Come on, I'm not answering that. I'm not going to answer that. Yo, I'm not answering that, man. I'm not going to answer it. You already know the answer to that one.
Please answer the question, LJ. Please.
Lauryn Hill. There you go, man. It ain't even no comparison.
Why?
Thank you.
Why?
Yeah.
It ain't even no comparison, man. Lauryn Hill got a classic. She got a classic album, yo. Sexy Red will never have a classic album. I'm sorry. It just won't be classic. Yo.
Well, we got to give her some time to grow.
Did we give Lauryn Hill time to grow?
Yes, we did.
No, we did. She did the Fugees joint, and then she dropped her solo. It was 97, and then Miseducation. Right?
Absolutely. So you're missing that little... You're missing
okay. I was there, too. I was around.
You're missing that little gap. She did play in Sister Act 2.
Okay.
That's what put a lot of us on to who she was, and it did correspond to the music.
No. What's Sister Act 1?
No, Sister Act 2, bro.
It was 2.
No, Sister 2.
She had the braids.
Give her that. She was blowing. Okay.
Right. So we all knew her. Hold up. We all knew her from Sister Act 2.
Right.
Right. And that corresponded to the music when we heard her with the Fugees. Sister Act was first. Then it was the music.
Here's my explanation on that. I didn't even know who Lauryn Hill was on 6th Ave. But no, I didn't know who she was. I knew who she was on that Fugees album. She killed it. It's one of the best albums I've ever heard in my life. She killed it. She killed it. She killed it. I mean, at the end of the day, and then after that, she dropped another bomb, Miseducation. Boom. She was hot.
How important was that album to hip hop?
Man, that was everything, man. Wyclef is a genius, though. He put things together. You know what I'm saying? You know what's so crazy? He's one of them guys that I never met. Out of everybody, like, he's just one of the guys that I never was in the right place at the right time to just pick his brain. But you know who actually met him? Young Dice, Alliance, they knew about him. They was in the studio at one point in time, but, it was crazy. Time ago, whatever.
So we're not going to give Sexy Red a chance?
Nah, man, I can't. I mean, I don't have no problems with her. And I actually knew about her years ago when she went viral, when she was walking down the street with the gun. You remember that, Joe?
Okay, yeah.
I knew about her, you know what I'm saying? So, and she took that song, she flipped it. I knew about that, but think about it. We're comparing her to Lauryn Hill, and it's not even close. Sorry. I think she's an okay artist, but I don't think she's not even in the stratosphere.
Well, I'm not going to compare. I just wanted to segue to this question. Do you feel like today female artists are like back in the 90s?
I mean, I would say yeah, because who wrote Lil' Kim's albums and stuff?
Exactly.
Who wrote that? I mean, she didn't write that. Big.
So is it safe to say that Biggie Smalls is the cause of ratchet female artists?
Is he the cause, or he's the one that, I think he capitalized on it, but you know what I'm saying? I think he capitalized on it. And the thing about it is, once he capitalized on it, then Jay-Z tried to capitalize on it.
Well, he got to be the cause of it, because if he wrote the lyrics, he's the creator.
I don't know the history of that. I can't even answer to that. But he's definitely the pioneer. He's one of the pioneers on that one, because all her old music, that was all Big. Big did all that. He did all that. You know what I'm saying? And you know why? He did it because he didn't want to get his check to Puff. Because didn't Puff want all the rights to everything he wrote? Absolutely. Right? Ain't that the thing? Puff, anything you write, Big, I get a part of it. Absolutely. And then he lied, right?
LJ, you the second person that said that.
And he lied. He wanted to make money. Oh, you wrote that. And Big was pretty smart. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't stupid. You know what I mean? Lil C's, all them dudes, they wasn't rapping. Mm-hmm. He wrote that, pocketed the money, wrote the whole album. That's crazy. Now that makes it even more crazier. Like, he was writing other albums. You know what I mean? Lil' Kim Hardcore, like, that was a crazy album. It was a time. What was that, 97? Was that 97 too?
That was during the Undies era.
Yeah.
Undies. And that's where the money was going.
Yeah, exactly. So, I think, he was there, but then Jay tried to do it with a mill, and I think the firm was doing it with Foxy.
Well, hold up. Emil, she was not like Lil' Kim.
No, she wasn't.
Not lyrics, not Nothing. Like, she didn't expose herself like Kim did.
Nah, she did. Well, that's what Big. He know what men like, and guess what? It sold. I don't know. I forgot the numbers it sold, but it sold. Like, Hardcore was like, in the other albums, they sold. You know what I mean? Big made a persona, and they bit. And listen, to this day, that pattern is still going on. It's presented, and they put it out there, and they say, "Oh, this is what we want. This is the look. This is how we want to do it." And then it's a consistent thing. That's all I can say.
Now, do your music change when your lifestyle change?
No.
You still listen to the regular music that everybody listens to?
Man, I still listen to PU and Sandman. You know what I'm saying? Time to time again. You know what I'm saying? Depending on what is on. Like, I still listen. I mean, good music, it doesn't matter. I still listen to Big, Jay-Z. I got it all mixed in Pandora. You know what I mean? The new stuff popped up, but I still got the old stuff. You know what I'm saying? That I still listen to. Major Figure. I still listen to all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So,
you don't listen to none of the new music?
As far as who?
Your Glorillas, your Sexy Red, your Benny the Butchers.
Your Youngs.
All your Littles and Youngs.
Lil Baby, I listen to Baby. Lil Baby, I listen to definitely all the babies. I listen to them. I mean, and this is the thing. It's not even a thing about, back in the day, you used to go and buy an album. Nowadays, you just listen to music. Like, you just stream and add it to your catalog and keep it, like, who really buys albums anymore? Like, I was just thinking about that driving here. Like, I looked at my car, I'm like, I don't even got a CD player in this joint. You know what I mean? Everything's digital. Like, which is crazy.
Let me ask you something. Do you feel that Spotify, or let's put it like this, streaming, point blank period, it hurt the artist?
No. Times change, man. Times change. You got to move with the times. This is not Motown. Okay? You know what I mean? This ain't records. This ain't that. Yo, the times change. You got to change. You know what I mean? Even with me with design work, I got to implement AI in my design work. You know, and guess what? AI helps move my. I wish I had AI when I was doing all these mix covers. I'd have been done a lot faster. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I ain't have it. You know what I'm saying? So I had to literally do everything step by step. But now I'm like, oh, I got AI. I mean, AI this real quick, and then edit this right here, and then manipulate things, and you ain't got to do as much. So with times change, it changed. I think who started that? Didn't Jay-Z start that? He was one of the first guys. His album went platinum with Samsung or something like that. He got 5 million off the first sale, and people looked at him like, oh, that ain't real. Guess what? That was the way. He did that with Samsung, and all you did was purchase a Samsung phone. Jay-Z album was already on it. He went platinum over a contract, and Samsung did it.
Yep. Was that Holy Grail? Not Holy Grail. The album. What was that?
444.
No.
Nope. Way before that. Way before that.
It was the one with Holy Grail on it.
Yeah.
It'll come to my thoughts later.
Yeah.
So, do you feel like the music gotten better as far as the creative part?
I mean, getting better is just subjective. You know what I'm saying? Depending on who's listening. I'm the type of person where I can manipulate and I can move, and I'm like, all right, but it's the same patterns: voice, sound, soundtrack, audio, hook. I mean, it's the same thing. It's so different. Now, the delivery is different. You know how people deliver and stuff like that. That may change or whatever like that, but it's all the same. I mean, but it's kind of like movie theaters. How long movie theaters been around?
Years.
And guess who owns all this stuff? That still put out movie theaters and movies and stuff like that. People say, oh, movies don't make money. They do. They the owners. They do it. It don't change. It's still a movie. You know what I mean? You're still going to the theaters to go see Gladiator. You know what I'm saying? You're still going to the movie theater. And that's been around for at least 1,000 years. It's always been a show. It's always been something. Music ain't going to change. Music is music, plain and simple. It's always going to be there. Which is crazy is, I don't know how R&B just died, but that's on purpose probably. They're not pushing it. They're not pushing it no more.
Nobody want to make love no more.
I doubt that.
It's some money. It's too much.
I don't understand it. I've never seen. No one's seen that coming. Like no more R&B. That's crazy.
Yeah, too much money to invest in it.
Yeah.
You could just.
Well, Miguel is R&B.
Nah,
Miguel is he falls under R&B. And Neo is still R&B, but he can convert to pop.
Well, I'm not even talking about Neo. I'm talking about a new, fresh face in R&B. They still Neo always going to be around. He got a hint. He can write all day. He always going to be a part of it. Same as Chris Brown. He ain't going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? But right now, what artist is getting broke for R&B?
That's crazy. I can't think of it.
too much money.
They ain't doing it. I mean, think about it. If you could do trap music, call it a day and keep it moving. I mean, but R&B, that's the only thing I say that really changed. The R&B side of things is going. And it's crazy because I know Jasmine Sullivan. She went to Creative Performing Arts, She's still out there doing things. But, and then at one point in time, like my wife's cousin, Reese, she was out there. But that was a wave with the neo soul. Then they killed that. You know what I'm saying? With music, music, he used to hang down Creative Performing Arts. You know what I'm saying? He used to be down there, another neo soul guy. That was like one of them things that came and went. And then after that, nothing ever picked up behind it. And it's like once the neo soul thing died, it's like it just kind of went stale, So that's the thing. I've been around music and I just be around stuff. You know what I mean? I pay attention.
What is a culture vulture?
Dame Dash. I mean, you know what's so funny? Before he even said it, they always been around. He just put a name to it. That's the business, yo. You don't want to put a name to it, like, but did I just say that as far as the urban stuff? And now ESPN, you see the grunge, you see the design, it all switched up. Look at the stuff now, and look 10 years ago. Everything was smooth, clean, commercial. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the reasons why I got hired at NFL Films. My portfolio. They was like, yeah, you good, come on. This is the direction we want to go in anyway. You know what I'm saying? That's how it went.
You think Dame should give up the American New Network?
No. I think Dame should do what he needs to do. That's it. You know, other than, American New, the crazy part about it is every time somebody tries something like that, they get, erased. You know what I'm saying? And or publicly embarrassed. Think about it. Bill Cosby, he tried to do something. Nah, you ain't doing nothing.
Well, he's getting publicly embarrassed. Well, to a person that's on the outside looking in, I'm pretty sure that Dame is good financially and, well,
good is different perspective, though.
That is true.
That's perspective. I tell people all the time. I'm good. I'm not a millionaire, but I'm good. I'm like, all my bills are on auto. I'm good. That's all. That's being good to me. That's funny. I was talking to my wife the other day. I'm like being good is just being happy. You know what I mean? Being good in your situation. So it's funny because when I was younger, I really wanted that fame. When I was doing on the mixtape, I'm like, this is my way out. This is my way out. And then it was like, my son, I'm like, well, football. Let's go do some football stuff. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, just being happy, being with my family is good. So his perspective may be a different thing. I don't know what. Now him being in the limelight, his perspective of being good may be different. You know what I'm saying?
Well, is the image that he portrayed throughout the years. Yeah. He was always balling Dame. And so when we see if he is doing bad, our perspective of looking at him doing bad could mean like, oh my goodness, we lost our superhero. Right. Like he's down. Right. When he can bleed just like we bleed. Yeah. But we don't give him the same benefit of the doubt.
And again, it all depends on who's looking at that. Me being, and that's the thing, man, I done been around, I tell people all the time, I'm constantly around millionaires, constantly. You know what I'm saying? Am I a millionaire? No. But you wouldn't know. You would think I am because the way I carry myself, I'm good. You know what I'm saying?
Price.
Listen, I'm good at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? But it's just, with Dame, man, I like Dame, man. I like his swag, man. He's still a swag setter. Obviously, he's from Harlem. He got the swag. You know what I mean? And to his, to the date, you know what I mean? He still got the swag. He still got to move the way he moved. So at the end of the day, he going to be good. You know what I'm saying? Guess what? Nothing gold can stay. You know what I'm saying? Eventually, you ain't going to be what you was 20 years ago. You know what I mean? Same thing with Mike Tyson. Mike obviously is not Mike no more. With time passing, you're not going to be the same person no more. You know what I'm saying? It just happens. You know what I mean? Some people elevate to God-like status, Jay-Z, whatever, but it's not for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Everybody can't be in that mode. You know what I mean? Sometimes you just got to take what's around you and just accept it. Like, this is me. That's what I like doing. Because a lot of times you'll be chasing and you be looking, you ain't got nobody around you. You ain't built no family, you ain't do nothing. Because you chasing, you try to chase that dream and this right here. Because trust me, when I was younger, that was my thing. You know what I mean? I'm like, yeah, man, this one, I'm going to be the first one to do this, first one to do it. And I ain't going to lie, I had a different grind. Because at that time, it was just me and my girlfriend, you know what I'm saying? But it was just me and her. And I was able to just be more reckless. Because that's what it was. Dealing with the hip hop community is being reckless, Yeah. That's a reckless thing, you know what I mean? I think the first time that I knew it was reckless, and AR called me, and he was like, yo, you coming to the studio? And I was like, nah. Nah, I ain't going to the studio. Last time I was in the studio with you told me you was going to shoot everybody. So I'm not coming down to the studio, man. I'm good. He's like, why you don't want to come? Because I don't have a vest. I'm good. I'm staying home, man. Like, I'm cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just that simple. You know what I mean? Trust me. Like, I done been in so many studios, and I was like, yo, man, I was crazy back then, man. Like, right now, I'm like, hold on. I don't know. Let me check the situation. You know how those studios be. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. And the funny thing about it is, even then I was going to them studios and I always was by myself. Like right now, by myself. I could call people. Oh, you know me? No, I'm dolo. You know what I'm saying? And this is when people call me, this is who they see. Me. That's it. It's like, you don't got no team? Who? Nah, it's just me, man. I put it together. You know what I mean? Depending on how big the project is, I got people I can call. We can put something together. But it's always just been me. And that's just the way I've been. You know what I mean? Always.
So, today's hip hop could be a dangerous game.
Right.
What do you gotta say for, the rap artists that been, going to prison, being indicted and things like that?
I mean, you know what's so crazy? When I was doing this, I seen a lot of people get locked up. You know what I mean? A lot of people over the DVDs things, go to prison. You know what I mean? I don't want to name no names, but I done seen people, get locked up over this rap stuff, go to prison. I mean, you just got to be smart, man. That's just through life, man. You got to make your decisions, and you got to put yourself and take your pride away, man. Because a lot of times it's just pride. And I know people right now, when I started, they still in prison. Still in prison to this day. Rappers, young rappers too, man. Like, and I dealt with a bunch of them, man. They get locked up, and the crazy part about them is a lot of them were still reaching out to me while they was locked up, and I was like, "Yo, same number." You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, my only advice is you got to put that pride away, man, because that's why people get locked up. And then by the time you do the pride, look, Wallow, perfect example, right? He did time. So I mean, you gotta get your life together. That's all. I mean. And I know it takes time. It's not one of the things where, get your life together. Nah. Sometimes, I got a son, he's 20, man. I let him go out and make his mistakes. But I don't, scold him when he does make the mistakes, because this is your time to make these mistakes. Luckily, this is baby mistakes, man. But, it is what it is.
I was just telling my cousin the other day, I told him, I said, I think it's more gangster when you walk away. I could trust you more when a man can walk away.
Listen. I'm going to tell you, I've been in situations where it started to be certain situations. It's like, this dude, he don't really know who I am, man. I could dog this dude right now. But then, guess what? I got to be looking over my shoulder. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing. You got to be looking over. Now, so you got to think. You got to really sit there and think about it. And just like, you know what? Is it even worth it? Matter of fact, are you worth my time, my life? Nah, you ain't worth it. That ain't worth my life. You ain't going to misdirect me. I can't do that. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, you just gotta use your brain, man. To be honest with you, and I'm not saying to say, well, L's, but at times, but you gotta think about things, and that's just what it is. You gotta think about it.
I think it's based off of one, maturity, and what you stand to lose at the end of the day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've been faced with those situations, and it's like, yeah, I'm going to be high-headed, but then it's like, yo, I done built so much.
I can lose it all.
Yeah, you lose it all.
You lose it all, man. I mean? Because listen, even if you mix it, there ain't no guns or nothing. You hit somebody, they fall, hit their ground, and they die. Guess what? You over.
Right.
Checkmate. And that's what I think about.
A simple mistake.
And again, I had that conversation with my son. I said, man, you ain't no kid no more. You can't be going around punching people, because if they fall, go down. Like, that's it. That's the end of your life. Everything you work for is over. So, I mean, that's a very important thing. You just got to be mindful. And you know what's so crazy? A lot of these guys coming out, I used to have these conversations with them. Just have them like, yo, you good? All right. And that's why at this point, if their numbers are saying, I'm still, I can call them, hey, what's going on? But that's the thing. I really don't need nothing from anybody. But, when people reach out to me, I'm willing to help. It's probably my teaching background or whatever like that. I don't mind. And I'm not really worried about somebody taking my spot. I'm not worried about that. You know what I'm saying? Listen, make me hustle harder. Thank you. Make me do this something hard. But I'm not worried about it. I'm really not.
Pretty much solidified.
Yeah, I think I'm good, man. And I can go down a long list, man. And I do good business with people. You know what I'm saying? And I try. It's hiccups every now and then, but at the end of the day, I think I did what I could do to help people. And you know what I'm saying? And get them where they was at. And, for those that made it, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. And I ain't looking for no handout or nothing. Like, that's dope. It's like right now, the guys I got that's playing D1 football, I'm not calling them like, hey, man, what you doing? They reaching out to me. Coach, you got that old footage? Yeah, I got it. Here you go. Check this out. That's it. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? But again, we in Philly, man.
You know how that go.
We are in Philly.
You know how that go.
Yeah. We are in Philly. They like, nah.
It's brotherly love.
Yeah. But you know what's so crazy? And this is a convo I had with my wife, and I basically told her, like, that's why people love us. You know what I mean? Because if you could make a name for yourself in Philadelphia, woo.
Definitely.
Like, that's a strong thing, man.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Without stabbing people up, you know, conniving or nothing like that. You could just make a name for yourself. You know what I mean?
Without being the gatekeeper.
Yeah.
You know, crab in the barrel.
Yeah, and you know what's so crazy? That was one of the conversations with me and Brax at one point in time, the designer. You know what I mean? Like, to this day, like, I'm cool, but he was just like, yo, L, man, you gotta raise your prices. Like, it was a whole situation. And I was like, what? How you gonna call me and tell me to raise my prices? You know what I'm saying? Because, like, man, you know, I'm over here charging $200 and something, and you out here charging $50. And I'm like, that's business, man. That's business right now. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, my apologies, but I ain't mean to hurt nobody. And I don't think I did. I was just trying to put a product up on the ground so it could move. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it did. You know what I'm saying? 2 years, I think I won like the Philly Hip Hop Awards back to back when Muhammad had it. You know what I'm saying? And then when I guess when Jimmy had it, you know, that was my joint too. Urban Celebrity. Me and him was 50-50 partners on that situation. Urban Celebrity. Yeah. So the whole Hip Hop Awards, that was our thing. I walked away because me, it wasn't making enough money. It just wasn't making enough money for me.
So when Snow had it, you was around?
With Philly Hip Hop Awards?
Yeah, when it first was on the
Which
scene.
one? We talking about the one with Jimmy, right? Or you talking about with Muhammad?
Muhammad had it. Muhammad had it before Jimmy.
Yeah.
But I think Snow and Muhammad had it together. The white boy, Snow.
No, I jumped to me and Jimmy. That was our concept. Once I think Muhammad has passed because he did it twice. And then Jimmy, we started the Urban Celebrity magazine and we was 50-50 partners on that. Then, you know, Jimmy, you know, if you know Jimmy, you know Jimmy. I ain't got to go into all that. Jimmy, he running around, he got ideas, okay? And I was like, Jimmy, this joint cool and all, but I ain't making no money. Jimmy don't, you know, he don't even care. He won't put the product. He moving. You know, if you know Jimmy, you know Jimmy. So, and you know, to this day, I walked away from that situation, but he's still my guy. You know, people say, you still cool with Jimmy? I was like, I ain't got nothing personal against him. It didn't fit what I was doing, so I strolled. And me, I see Jimmy, he called me all the time. Like, I don't have a personal relationship or something bad, you know, at the end of the day. And it's been plenty of deals like that where I start something and be like, you know what, that ain't making money, I'm out. You know what I'm saying? Or I'm the only one doing work, I'm out. Sorry, y'all got it. And they be like, oh, you just gonna roll? Yeah. Because, you know, what's that song? Make another one? That's what at the end of the day, like, you know what I mean? That ain't work, I'm gonna flip it. Just make another one, all right, cool.
LJ, my last question to you, bro. Have you ever went through something in your profession where it wasn't beneficial to you?
Yeah. A lot. It's a lot. It's a lot of things. It's a lot of things. I mean, you know, it's so much. Let's think about it, about doing things. You guess and you check. If it's not working, you just don't work with it. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, or it's not beneficial. And like, you know, being honest, as far as the one thing about even working with Jimmy, when we was doing it, man, we had Rick Ross come out. Rick came, brought Rick to Beirut. That's at the time, that's where I was living at. So he was down in Beirut. People were like, yo, Rick Ross, the real Rick Ross is in town. You know what I'm saying? Jimmy made the call, came down, we was doing that stuff. And even that whole situation, everyone loved it. You know what I mean? It was great. You know what I mean? It was putting us on the map as far as, you know, popularity. But at the end of the day, it was just like, all right, this is not it. And we caught that wave at the end, the magazine situation. You know what I mean? Magazines was done at that time. And that's the thing. And that's why you don't really see too many of them now. They were dying. The Source died. You know, obviously Jimmy did 10 years, you know, so he kind of missed all that dying. And when he came out, he still wanted the idea of putting his magazine out. But I think it was a good thing for the culture, because even with that, we put that out and people really embraced it, you know. And to this day, I think he's still doing the Hip Hop Awards. At least he's doing something, which I think is a positive thing to bring everybody to the community. But in business, you're going to make mistakes. And what you got to do is not pout about it, it's just move on. But several things that I've tried, or I tried working with, and it didn't pan out. So it's like, all right, we're going to move on, we're going to do something different.
When y'all did the Philly Hip Hop Awards, was them things rigged?
No. Well, at least Muhammad's wasn't rigged. But Jimmy, I mean, most of them things, it was just based on voting, though. If you was a person, like right now, if you go on social media, you got 1 million followers, guess what? You won. Or you got 5,000 followers, you're going to win. You get 5,000 of your friends to vote for you, you're going to win. And that's the thing about it. You literally had to go out there and say, hey, vote for me on this website. Vote for me. You know what I'm saying? If you didn't, then nobody going to vote for you. So was it rigged? No. If you got people to vote for you, you won those things. I mean, most of them. I mean, Jimmy, handshaking everybody. Oh, man, man. Yeah, I'm going to give you the award. But like I said, but I know Muhammad's wasn't rigged. I know that wasn't rigged. Because you know why? When Muhammad did it, didn't nobody know who Muhammad was. You know what I'm saying? He just came here, did a thing, put it on, and got the website. He had a system. He started in Pittsburgh, then brought it here, and it was successful. Then he went down. He did a lot of things. Like Muhammad was cool with that situation. But it being rigged, I mean, it all depends. I wasn't a part of that, so I wouldn't know.
How important is the Philly Hip Hop Awards, no matter who own it?
I think it should continue to go on.
Okay.
I think it's very important because it puts a highlight and it brings talent together. You know what I'm saying? Because even when I was doing those Philly Hip Hop Awards, I was in the building with everybody at one time. And, it was nice, man. Everybody, have y'all attended them joints? Y'all been on?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. I haven't been to the last couple of them. I mean, Jimmy has invited me, but I just, I've been super busy. But I think it's a positive thing, man, and I think it should continue on because it helps the community. I mean, guess what? Just think about it, putting all that talent in one area. And it's a plain thing. You don't even got to promote it. It's already done. Everybody's in the same spot. You, as an artist, you ain't got to promote it. Now I'm here. This is my opportunity to go talk to him. He's here. We in the line. This is my time. I couldn't find this dude all week. Now he's here. So if you take advantage of it, and that's what I did, and that's what I used to do for Powerhouse too, when I used to go there, you know what I mean? I never went there for the artists. I was always behind the stage talking to people, trying to network, trying to do different things. But I think it's a definite thing where we should keep that Philly. I hope Jimmy keeps it going on. I don't know what the condition of it is, but I hope he keeps it up.
Do it count?
For your peers, it do. It counts, It definitely counts. Because it's something, it's something to hold on to. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times, that may be the highest that some people get to. You know what I'm saying? So it definitely counts. And it's your peers in one room. You know what I mean? And some people just go there just to network. So it does count.
LJ, it was a pleasure, bro. Thank you so much for coming on the show, man.
Cool.
Listen, you gave us some jewels, man.
Oh, I gave you something. Yeah, man. Listen, I'm for this, yo. And I'm glad I had the opportunity to do it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not one of them guys who's like, man, I need to check, man. I ain't going over.
We came across something.
You know what I mean? And you know what's so funny? A lot of the guys that you said that or what happened, I took trips to New York with them people just off a phone call. Go with me. All right, cool. Let's go. That's me, though.
Right.
That's me. I don't. If it's worth getting money off, it's worth getting money. If it's not, let's do it. Let's get it done. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But this is one of those things where I want, but that's how you got to be. You know what I'm saying? Because to be honest with you, I think the biggest star I actually met was on Patti LaBelle and Erie Avenue. I was on Erie Avenue, right? And my guy, Big Ray, it's my last little story. My guy, Big Ray, he was out there selling Smother Wet shirts, right? Now, I'm out there busting up chit chat, whatever. Next thing I know, I'm in the same room as Patti LaBelle, Diamond C, meeting a guy on Erie Avenue who happened to play semi-pro for Diamond C and connected me with Diamond C, that's how I got in the room with Patti LaBelle. So it works that way. You know what I mean? So I've never closed the door on people because I didn't see stuff like that. From Erie Avenue, he's selling T-shirts called Smarter What. And, you how would you put that?
With Patty.
And Patty. But it happens that way, though. You know what I'm saying? And, just think about it. Like when you deal with people, 6 degrees of separation or however you want to look at it, it happens. And that's why I don't close doors. And that's why it takes me back to the gatekeeper thing. Was I a gatekeeper? I don't consider myself a gatekeeper. I consider myself a guy that was a part of the culture. I was just a part of it. I mean, I wasn't a gatekeeper because I never stopped anybody. I never blocked anybody. Or anybody who sees this, they know. It don't even matter. All right, let's get it done. You know what I mean?
LJ. He said he wasn't a gatekeeper.
Nah.
I mean, I believe.
See, but when they use gatekeeper, most times it's people that's holding the door, stopping people. You know what I'm saying?
But they're using it for the wrong perspective.
Right. So when I hear it automatically, I'm like, was I a gatekeeper? No, I was around though. I was connected to a lot of people, and I'm still connected to this day.
Right, but I mean, when I say a person is a gatekeeper, I go by, you have access to something that I need.
Right.
You could say yay or nay.
Now, if you put it that way, but that goes back to the perspective of where you're coming from. Because some people be like, oh, he's a gatekeeper. He's just, he's just one of them people. Which it was when I came up. It was a lot of people like, who are you? Oh, such and such. All right, come on in. You know what I mean? And I've never been that type of person. I'm like, all right, cool. Because like you said, when you called me, it was just like, all right, 150.
Right. So you wasn't a gatekeeper, so you were a doorkeeper.
Doorkeeper, yeah. I was a gatekeeper, yeah.
His get out and free resources had to elevate.
Listen, when I tell you, man, that $50 price, that price, man, that drawing, I was so busy, man, literally working 18 hours a day. You got to think, I'm footing it on the ground. Obviously, I'm driving, but I'm going to these stores, going to all the battles. You know what I mean? I remember the last one, the last big battle was when Young Hot battled, who he battled?
He battled Murder Mook.
Murder Mook, right?
With World Star Hip Hop over in New York.
Yep, I was there. We all went. Philly went up there. All Philly. I was on the stage right next to the Nest when he destroyed your guy.
My son?
Yeah, he destroyed him. He destroyed my son, though.
All right.
He destroyed him, man.
Look.
You got a difference of opinion?
I was actually there.
Yeah?
Yeah, I was in the building.
Listen, he hit him with a backflip, and then I do. Yo, he killed him. Young Hot, my guy, but he went up there just for the check. And unfortunately, no one got paid that day.
Well, the thing about exactly the thing about Young Hot is the only corny thing I thought that Young Hot did was he did a previous video saying, if I win or lose, I still get $5,000. I'm like,
I said that. He went up there for it. I said, Hot, what you doing? He said, L, I just wanted to check. And I was like, all right, I hear you, man. But unfortunately, everybody got burnt, man. Like,
I get it. They all got burnt. They all got
burnt. No one got paid. My son might have got paid, but I know
nobody
got paid.
Nobody got paid, and that's actually the first kickoff for URL.
That's crazy.
That was the first kickoff because of that event of the battle rappers not getting paid. So that made Smack was already Smack.
That's crazy.
But then put that URL stamp on there saying, listen, we're going to take these guys, we're going to give them a platform, and they're going to display their talents.
That was the first. Yo, that's crazy. Who was you at that time when you went up there?
I was with my guy. He was with MRAC. You know MRAC?
Yeah.
So I was just floating.
Okay.
Just put it like that.
Yeah.
I was a nobody.
That was probably one of the proudest days when the whole Philly just drove. We all just drove up there, just jumped in everybody's car and drove up there. Everybody. And that was nice, yo.
Yeah.
That was a nice time, yo.
It definitely was good for the culture, but it was bad for the battle rappers.
Yes, it was. I agree on that.
Nobody.
I'm trying to think. Did Tech 9 battle in that joint? Nah, I might be mixing them up.
Not Tech. He didn't battle.
He ain't battle. He was there though. Him, LP, we always together. So
Cassidy was there. Cameron was there.
You know what's so crazy? I ain't know Cam was there because I'm on the stage with Ness and all them.
Yeah,
we just see, Philly was on the stage. We taking over the whole set. You know what I mean? It was just crazy. That was a crazy time. But that was the last time. And, you definitely put that in perspective of why they do now. Because I was like, yo, everybody got burnt. That's crazy.
Yeah, they got burned down. They price went up, man.
Yeah,
they charging people almost $100,000. I think Cassidy charged Smack about $250,000.
But at that time, Cassidy was supposed to battle. He was the one that was supposed to battle, but he turned it down. He didn't want to battle because it was like the money wasn't there.
He was going to battle Murder Mook.
Right.
He was going to battle Murder Mook, and he backed out, but he still showed up.
Yeah.
And he ended up battling Young Hot. Actually, I'm sorry. Reed Dollars was supposed to be on that card.
Yeah.
but he had that situation with
The Italians.
The Italians, so he couldn't do it. So then Young Hot, he stepped up.
Yeah.
And I believe that killed Young Hot career.
So who did T-Rex battle?
Oh, the T-Rex battle?
Yeah. That's when I first seen T-Rex. I didn't know what a T-Rex was.
Oh my
I think he battled Tech 9.
He probably did battle.
My memory crazy, man. My memory crazy.
He battled. He
you know, those my guys, so I know them. You know what I'm saying? I know it was me, LP, Tech 9. You know, we all went up there.
Speaking of Tech 9, Tech 9, you know, he had passed away.
Right.
How he passed away was the big question on everybody's head.
Nobody knows.
They say that you know, Tech was facing some charges.
Yeah.
For
listen. Yeah, it's crazy.
Do you believe do you believe that he, you know, he took his own life?
I don't know, man. I have no clue, man. He was cool. He was a cool guy with me, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. The Hollow, you know, all them dudes, Dot Brass and all them guys, man, they was cool. And still all them guys. But I don't know, though. That was a sad moment. You know, I don't know how it happened. I heard all this, what's the name? I heard all the situations, but I mean, it was just a bad situation, man.
It definitely was a bad situation because I was a fan of Tech 9. Yeah. He was definitely one of the battle rappers.
Matter of fact, he was the one that started that rapping like that, talking. Because I remember.
Roll through the block.
Yeah. He was talking. You know what I'm saying? He started that. Tech started that.
And it shouts to my guy
at that battle.
Shouts to my guy Head Ice. He also talked to people too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Goods, the animal, he definitely talked to
people.
You know, but you know, we always got the foundation here.
He was crowd control, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Letting everybody hear everything, vocalizing. I was like, okay. And then when I look up, everybody doing it now. I was like, yo, I remember when Tech was doing that though. You know what I mean? Yeah. And what was it called? It was called War. Still, Dot Brass, Tech 9. It was called War. There was 3 of them.
Yeah, because he was his slogan was SPIT.
Yeah,
spinach.
Yeah.
Definitely held spinach down, you know, throughout his career, man. Rest in peace to Tech.
Man. Yeah, spinach. Yeah.
Rest in peace to Tech, man.